Hempstead at Kennedy Park. As you can see, this is a group effort, and I want to make sure I acknowledge everybody who's here. I'm County Executive Laura Curran. We are joined by our partners from the state in the form of the Governor's Office of Faith-Based Community Services, Kareem Kamara. We have Michael Dowling, who is the CEO of Northwell Health. We also have with us New York State Senator Kevin Thomas. Is this Assemblywoman here? Nope. We have Senior Councilwoman from the Village of Hempstead, Dorothy Gooseby, and we have a strong showing from the Village of Hempstead, starting with the Mayor, Waylon Hobbs. We also have Trustee Boone, Trustee Griffith, and Trustee Williams. So thank you very much for coming and for being such great partners. Where did you go? With us on this. You're so elusive today. Really, really appreciate this. We also have with us Bishop Harvey from First Baptist Church in Westbury and also part of our team in Nassau County. We have with us Lionel Chitty. Is Lionel here? Oh, hello. Who is our Executive Director of the Office of Minority Affairs at Nassau County. We have David Nemiroff, who is in charge of the FQHC's community clinics in all over our county, another great partner. We have Isma Chowdhury, the Islamic Center of Long Island, George Cibarone of the Hispanic Civic Association. Very nice to see you here, George. We have Barbara Powell, who is president of the Hempstead NAACP. We also have with us the Hispanic Counseling Center, Gladys. Thank you so much for being with us. Very nice to see you. We were just together up in Port Washington. Debbie Salas, Dr. Debbie Salas Lopez of Northwell, who is, I believe, the chair of the State Equity Task Force, is that correct? Of the Long Island Vaccine Equity Task Force. So, all right. So it took all of these people and their teams to get something really important done for our residents here in the Village of Hempstead and throughout the county. So we're kicking off an ongoing point of distribution, vaccine distribution for all eligible residents, which at this point is everyone over 16. Walk-ins are accepted, although we are encouraging appointments, but I want to stress that walk-ins are accepted. So this site is being operated in partnership with Northwell Health and New York State. We're doing a pilot opening that will run through next week and will aim to vaccinate 300 community members per day as part of the county's ongoing effort to ensure equitable, equal distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine. So a huge thanks to Michael Dowling and his team at Northwell Health. Huge thanks to New York State. Huge thanks to the state and also to the village for letting us use this facility. You know, it does upset some of the events that are going on, some of the regularly scheduled things, so we really appreciate this. And I also want to thank the local officials that you see here for outreach. It's important that we reach out to the community because we're at the point now where a lot of people have gotten the vaccination. So we want to make sure that we're reaching the people who might be hard to find, who might be hesitant, who might have issues, problems, questions, skepticism about it. You know, when local officials reach out who are trusted messengers, it does make a difference. So I'm grateful for that. It is a community effort. And I'd also like to give a quick shout out. I don't know if we have anyone here from Long Island Cares. They're going to be holding a pilot food drive here on Monday. So thank you for that. All right, just a quick update on the numbers of where we are with COVID and the vaccine. I'm happy to report that we really are on the road to recovery. We've really turned the page. 52% of the county's population has had at least one shot of the vaccine, so that's about 70% of adults. And sure enough, we're beginning to see clear positive impact of our aggressive vaccination campaign. Case numbers, hospitalization, and deaths have steadily declined over the past 3 months. And we've seen it seems to be gaining momentum, that drop. We've seen a much bigger drop in the past week. In the past 10 days, a third of cases, a decline in a third of cases in Nassau County. So we've come a long way. 1 year ago today, we had about 2,000 COVID patients in our 11 hospitals in Nassau County. 2,000. Today that number is 227. The rapid decline of cases and hospitalizations really demonstrates the power of the vaccine. And there's a gentleman way in the corner who I did not introduce at the beginning, and that is Dr. Larry Eisenstein, who is our excellent Commissioner of Health. I think we're seeing such success is because our Department of Health and their volunteers and our wonderful hospital networks are doing such a great job in administering, making available. And of course, our residents are willing to get it, and it doesn't happen if the residents aren't willing to roll up their sleeves, and if our elected officials and other community stakeholders aren't helping people obtain the vaccine. So it's literally saving lives, and it's getting us poised for recovery. We are getting there. We're seeing restrictions start to ease up. People are looking forward to a normal summer here on Long Island. And our goal is to keep up the pace, even though we vaccinated the majority of people who were eligible. I think it's important to note that the quicker we reach critical mass, which is about 75 or 80%, the quicker we all will be able to return to normal and perhaps even have a normal school year for our children next year. That's something it's very important to me as a parent. So if you've been waiting on the sidelines, if you have questions, make sure you get them answered and seriously consider getting the vaccine. We're not going to preach, we're not going to tell you what to do, but get the information that you need to make the right decision for yourself, to make the right decision for your families. So a couple of reminders: the vaccine is free, it won't cost you anything, you don't have to show an insurance card. Immigration status is irrelevant. No one will ask you and nobody will care. You do not need insurance, as I said, to get the vaccine, and all of your information is kept confidential. So for more information, please go to our website, nassaucountiny.gov/vaccine. Our text alert in 6 languages is still up and running. I've actually subscribed to a few languages myself just to make sure it's running, and I'm getting them regularly. So please text COVID-19 NC to the number 888-777 to sign up to get those texts. Thank you very much. I would like to now turn it over to Kareem Kamara of New York State.
Thank you so much, County Executive Curran. It's so good to be here with you, as well as the mayor and other religious dignitaries, many of whom I've had an opportunity to work with in the past through the Governor's Office of Faith-Based Community Development Services. I'm proud to be here representing Cuomo today. Let me first say, please pardon me that I have to leave after I speak. I know everyone has busy schedules. When I was leaving the house this morning, my daughter reminded me, she said, "Daddy, don't forget we have parent-teacher conference at 1. And I said, "Oh, sweetheart, you know I would never miss it." I said, "But I'm going to be in Nassau County representing the governor of the great state of New York, so I might not make it on." She paused and said, "Daddy, it's virtual. That means you can call in from wherever you are." So I'm going to try to call in from the car when I'm done with this year. And so it's a great pleasure to be here again with Northwell Health. We thank them for their leadership. Michael Dowling, who's here, Nassau County Executive Order Curran, Hempstead Mayor Waylon Hobbs, thank you for being here with us today and for your leadership and for being essential partners in this pop-up site. We've come a long way over the past year, 13 months, 14 months, and we all have to admit, as optimistic as we are, there have been times when we might have said, at least to ourselves, when will we see the light at the end of the tunnel? And fortunately, we're at that point. But we can't rest on our laurels. We have to make sure that we continue to do these type of pop-up sites, and even more significantly, communicate to people who have vaccine hesitancy, and particularly in communities of color. We can't deny the historical fact that there have been unethical experiment vaccinations on individuals that as I said, are historical. This is not the case. There's a compelling health reason why we have to get the vaccine, not just for ourselves, but making sure we're protecting other people. And full disclosure, I've not gotten the vaccine yet, but I'm getting it at Medgar Evers College next week. I was one of those people. If you asked me a year ago, are you going to get the vaccine? I would blankly blank, no, I'm not going to get the vaccine. But there's a compelling health reason why we should. Why I should, not only for my health, but the health of seniors that I associate with, people who might have compromised immune systems that I associate with, or children that I associate with, to make sure that we're doing what's good for our health as well as for society. Just very quickly, Dr. King talked about the fact that 3 days before he was assassinated, he said that out of all the injustices, healthcare is the greatest injustice because of the fact that it can literally lead to death. And so we've seen in COVID, we've seen many of those injustices may manifest in ways that the individuals who don't have a primary care physician, who had long-standing health conditions that we might think minor, high blood pressure or something of that nature, but they're not getting it treated because they don't have a primary care physician. We also know that we talk about things we take for granted: social distancing, work from home. There are many individuals who don't have work from home as an option. Work from home may be an option. That option may be, sure, you can work from home, but if you don't come into work, you're not getting paid or you may lose your job. We also know that many individuals can't social distance. The lower economic status you are, the more chance that you live in crowded living conditions in your neighborhood. And so we have to, now that we're at this point with the vaccination, we have to make sure that we've dealt with those disparities already, hopefully. Now with the vaccination, we have to make sure we're doing everything in our power to get the word out to those individuals. Individuals who may not be online Googling for vaccination site, who may not be part of the local political group, who may not be part of the local mosque or synagogue or church. Those are the people that we have to go look for and tell them that there's a compelling health reason for them to get the vaccination. We've already made significant steps toward this vision. The governor convened the Vaccine Clinical Task Force to earn the public's trust in the vaccine. Many of the members are here today, and we thank them for their leadership. The governor created the Vaccine Equity Task Force to make sure the vaccine will be distributed fairly. But making sure everyone has access to the vaccine is an all-hands-on-deck operation. We have to use every partnership and tool made available. Just some of the few things that I'll mention before I turn it over to the next person. We created mass vaccination sites like those at Jones Beach, SUNY Stony Brook, SUNY Community College, SUNY Old Westbury, Stony Brook, Southampton. We're working on our trusted community healthcare providers like doctors' offices and federally qualified health centers. We're also opening up community-based pop-up clinics like this one, which will make over 2,000 shots available over the next week. I think that right there is ground for 2,000 shots to protect this community. And that's through a partnership between the state, the county, our friends at Northwell, starting today and through May 5th. New York is 16 and over, can get a vaccine, and there's no appointment necessary. We're getting closer to crushing this virus. When we say that, crushing this virus, but we need as many people as possible to get this vaccine. I add my name to that list. It will protect you, your family, your neighbors, and your community. We made it as easy as possible. So come on in, roll up your sleeve, get the vaccination. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Governor Cuomo for his leadership, for being a champion for all New Yorkers, and for leading us through the COVID crisis. And I want to thank everyone who made this partnership possible. Again, especially County Executive Curran, Mayor Hobbs, and Northwell Health. Thank you for your leadership in this regard, and we look forward to continuing this journey together until we fully crush the vaccine. We can take off the mask, give somebody a kiss on the cheek, go to the beach, et cetera, et cetera. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kareem, and thank you for the partnership, and thank you for saying what a lot of people have said to me privately. You know what? A year ago, I had no interest in getting this. There's no way I was going to do it. Then with information, knowledge is power. A lot of people are changing their minds about that, so thank you. And thank you for the state partnership and another great partner who we've been working with on so many of our community cause. That's Northwell Health. It's sort of like a turnkey operation, and they do a great job. So I'd love to hear now from Michael Dowling, who is the CEO.
Thank you very much. It's a real privilege for me to be here with such a wonderful group of people. Just imagine the power of everybody standing behind here, and members of the Equity Task Force, all of the other leadership, Mayor Hobbs. We are turning the corner on COVID, all right, as the county exec mentioned. But for us to fully turn the corner, we have a challenge now. We have to get more people getting the vaccine. And communities of color, the hesitancy is greater there. The uptake in vaccination is lower there. We need to get to, as the county exec mentioned, about 80% of the people getting the vaccine. So we have a challenge. We are not out of the woods. I think it's very, very careful, very important to say. We are not out of the woods at all. And we have to be as aggressive as we possibly can to educate people that getting the vaccine is the right thing to do for your own health, for your family's health, for the health of the neighbors and friends and other community members that you come in contact with. You know, it's a social responsibility to get the vaccine. and it is safe. And obviously I know that there are people worried about a situation when the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was taken off the market. Very small numbers of negative effects, very relatively small. I mean, out of 14 million vaccinations, something like 6 or 12 people. So it is safe, it does work, it does protect you, it keeps you out of the hospital, it keeps you from getting very, very sick. And believe me, we've been through an interesting, 14 months, and I have been through every floor in every hospital and in all our COVID units. And I can tell you that when you walk through those COVID units, when you see people in the circumstance that they're in, that is not where you want to be. That is not the circumstance you want to be in. And there is a way to prevent it. The vaccine will prevent that. And so I would strongly urge everybody to go to every one of your friends, every one of your neighbors, every store, and educate people, convince people this is a campaign. It's a campaign by everybody here, and I want to thank everybody for their commitment, but it's a campaign by everybody here to get everybody to get the vaccine as quickly as possible. Because until that happens, and until we get to herd immunity of about 80%, we will not be able to say with any degree of certainty that we have completely turned the page. And so it is urgent now. And I think, when the economy begins to open up, people begin to come back, the weather gets nice, people will begin to say, oh, everything is okay, it's kind of relaxing, we can hold back a little bit. We just cannot do that. That we will not be doing good for the members of the public if we do that. So now is the time to step it up, do more. We will, they mentioned, numbers of cases that we can do in this place. I want to do thousands of cases here every day. I mean, the more cases we do here, the better. The more people that come in, the more vaccinations we will do. So don't let any number limit you. Just fill the place up. We want to see this place filled, like all of the other pop-up sites, so that, and all of the other facilities, so that we have the vaccine now. Now we need the demand. So please, my urge everybody, and I want the media out there to be continually educating people, communicating to people that this is the right thing to do. This is a public health issue. It is people's responsibility to protect their family members and their neighbors and themselves. So with that, I just want to thank everybody that is here. I want to thank County Executive Curran. She's been an absolute wonderful pleasure to work with. And we will be at this as long as it takes to get as many people vaccinated as possible, which in the ideal world would be absolutely everybody. So, but let's step it up. And I thank everybody for their commitment and their dedication. Thank you.
And Michael, I think we all collectively thank you for your commitment and dedication, and that of your teams as well. It's a wonderful team. And I know we have, just wanted to mention someone who is here, but not in his capacity as a faith leader, and that's Pastor Easley, Sedgwick Easley, who I believe had the very first pop-up site at his church at Union Baptist, in partnership with Northwell.
Yes.
Yes, so
Yes.
thank you. You
Thank
broke
you.
the mold there.
Thank you.
And now I would like to bring up our host, the new mayor of the Village of Hempstead, Wayland House.
Thank you, County Executive, to Michael Dowling, to our state senator, and all the elected officials, our community leaders that are here today. It is a privilege for Hempstead to host this because we know the importance of getting our residents vaccinated. When we look at the numbers in Hempstead, that's why we want to thank the staff here at our Parks and Recreation, George Sanders, because we knew that it was all right to put things aside so that we could take care of serious business of getting our residents vaccinated. I know that there are some communities or colors that are afraid of vaccine, but my office have been inundated with calls requesting this. And so now that the residents know that this is a location they can come, I'm sure that we'll see this place filled with people getting the vaccine. I had both of my shots over a month ago. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor, and thanks to your team. And now we're going to hear from the senator who represents this area, State Senator Kevin Thomas.
Thank you so much, County Exec. all of you just heard the stats that the county exec talked about, where last year around this time we had more than 2,000 individuals in the hospital, and now we have only around 200. And that's thanks to great leadership. Thank you so much for leading the way here in Nassau County. Here in the village of Hempstead, we were hit pretty hard. And we had some great leadership here as well. Now before us, our Mayor Hobbs. You know, give him a round of applause as well. He worked day and night to make sure the residents here were given all the resources that they need to survive, and as well as the new trustees as well. And we cannot forget our healthcare heroes, our nurses, our doctors, and of course, Michael Dowling, who is behind me right now, who has done such great work in connecting the communities to the vaccinations and making sure that the right information is out there. I also want to thank the governor's office and his staff for everything that they have done to partner up with my office to bring these pop-ups in different parts of my district and all around the state, because we need to get everyone vaccinated. Science works, vaccines are safe, and I'm here to also encourage those who are hesitant to take the vaccine to say, I got the vaccine more than a month ago, I am fine, and I encourage everyone else to get the vaccine as well. Thank you, God bless, mask up, and get the vaccine. Thank you.
And if you want to learn more about the vaccine, our Department of Health has sponsored, working with our health partners from around the county in all different communities, and these are health leaders in all different communities, have done webinars, sort of dispelling the myths, busting the myths about the vaccine, telling the truth about the vaccine. So I encourage everyone, they're still up on our Facebook page, have a look, and I think you'll learn a lot of good facts. And we have them in different languages, and so we're trying to cast a wide as net as possible. Now, I don't want to put anyone else on the spot, so I'm not going to call on anyone specifically, but I am going to open the floor to anyone who wants to add something at all. So, have at it. Anyone? Crickets? All right, then I'm glad I didn't put anyone on the spot. All right, we're happy to take any questions for me or anyone else here. You good? Great, thanks. Okay, have a great day.